Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily Quiz for IAS Prelims 2024. It is 24th October today, and in this video we are going to derive the prelims based questions from these important articles which are mentioned on the slide, which were mostly taken from the newspapers. You know, before we will start our discussion, I would like to give you the brief introduction about this initiative so that you will get more connected with the video. In this video we will discuss three types of questions. The first set of questions which we are going to discuss in this video are taken from the are taken from the current affairs topics. You know what we do? We take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We break them down into the simplest language possible. We derive the prelims based questions from those news articles and give you the idea how the questions can be asked by a UPSC faculty from these news articles, from these current affairs topics. So it will help you in the better preparation for your prelims exam next year. So this is the first set of questions which we discuss here. The another set of questions which we discuss here are taken from the static portion. We had started to discuss the static portion here. Every day we discuss a topic from a static portion, and we had started with the Indian polity. And in Indian polity right now we are discussing the fundamental rights, and in fundamental rights right now we are going to discuss Article 26, and we are going to derive a prelims based question from this article, and it will give you the idea about even how much discrete the topic may be, how UPSC can ask a question from that small or discrete topic. It will give you the better idea about your static portion. It will give you the better idea how the questions could be asked from such topics. So this contains the second part of our discussion. And the third part of our discussion is at the end of this video we are going to discuss few previous year questions too, so that it will give you the idea how the questions do actually come in the exam, how they do look like in the exam, and what can be the various ways and methods by which we can solve those questions. And also we will try to understand the habit, the pattern of UPSC, how they tend to frame the questions over the years, how they have this habit of repeating the questions. Either they will directly repeat it, or they will just change the wordings and they will repeat the same question, or how they often repeat the statements. So we will understand that and try to get as much information from these questions, and we will try to understand how we can implement this knowledge which we get from these questions in the next upcoming exam. So this is all about this initiative. I hope you had got the basic idea what we are going to discuss here. Now after that I would like to request you guys few things here which you need to follow. First of all, please do watch the full video. It is going to be very much important and interesting for you. As I already told you, what are my sources of these questions. And the good thing about this is it is the same source which is used by the UPSC faculty for framing your papers. So there are chances that many questions can coincide, as we are doing this stuff from last 3 to 4 months, and we had discussed at least more than 1,000 questions I guess here. So there are chances that many questions can coincide, or if not the questions but the statements will at least coincide, and if not the statements also, at least the concepts will definitely coincide what the UPSC is going to ask you. So being on the safer side, I would request you guys, please watch the full video, grab as much knowledge as possible from this video. And another thing which I would like to request you guys, please do write down these questions somewhere. Please note down these questions, or at least take the screenshot of these questions which we are going to discuss here. They are going to be very much important for you. When your exams would be near, you would want to, at that time you would want to revise everything. You would want to revise the current affairs, your static portion, your CSAT, but the time won't permit you. But if you have these questions with you, you have noted down these questions, or you have this screenshot of these questions, what you will do, you would just revise these questions. These questions would definitely connect you with the current affairs. These questions would definitely connect you with the static portion which we will discuss till our exams. And also these questions will boost your confidence as you are solving them. It will boost your confidence before entering the exam hall, so eventually it will help you in clearing your next year's prelims definitely. So I would like to request you, please do note down these questions or at least take the screenshot of these questions. After that, the last thing which I want to request you guys is, please do subscribe the channel, share it with your friends, and write down into the comments what else should we bring for you. Please do it for me. Whenever you comment or whenever you interact with me, it gives me the energy to work more hard on it. It is kind of an acknowledgement from your side. So please do like the video, do share it with your friends, and please do subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed yet, and also share it and do interact with us. You can criticize us, you can please interact us in every sense possible. Do criticize us if we are lacking anything, so that we will improve ourselves. So with this, let's have a look at the topics from where we have taken today's questions. It won't take us more than 5 to 6 minutes while discussing these topics. We will get the context, and we will develop the context from these topics, and by using this context we will solve the questions from the next slide. So the first article which was in the news today is about the Manipur crisis and the issue of managing diversity. In this article, what let's try to make it in smaller, in nutshell. I would like to give you the basic context behind it. We have seen from last 2 years there are Manipur crisis, the crisis between the tribes there. How the situation in Manipur has gone to the worse, how many people had died there, and how the Indian security is trying its best to curb the situation there. So with respect to it, here the author tries to say that how constitution can come in and solve this issue there. And it has given various examples, like it has given the example of Sikkim, and it has given example of the Tripura, how the constitution came in and it has solved these issues. For example, with respect to the Sikkim, we have Article 371F, which has in which the constitution has provided for different sections of population in Sikkim different rights, and also the role of the governor, how governor has got special responsibility for ensuring peace and equitable social and economic advancement, how they can give this equitable social and economic advancement for a particular tribe there, for a particular portion of the population there. So in a similar way, how the constitution can come in and save this Manipur right now, how it can give, how the parliament can come in and frame a particular law with respect to the Manipur and solve the situation there. Similarly, if the constitution gives the example of the Tripura also, as it has got this got the sixth schedule status, formation of special councils there, how how it has helped in solving the crisis with respect to Tripura. Similarly, about Manipur, we should know one thing: it does not belong to the sixth schedule. It does not have the sixth schedule status, and various tribes in there, they had that resentment towards each other, and they feel neglected. So with respect that, there are these crises in the state right now. So what here the article tries to say that how the constitution can eventually come in and solve this situation here. What does the framers of the how the government can utilize the constitution in this matter. So this is what the article actually tries to say in nutshell. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question. In fact, this article is not that much related to the prelims, but here are some points which we can grab from here which could be relevant for your prelims preparation. For example, we can frame a question on schedule 6. We can get knowledge about what schedule 6 is about, and also about article 371 with respect to this Sikkim. And there are many different questions can be formed with respect to these articles. Basically, coming back to the article, it is basically very broad in a sense. It is basically a mains type of article which could be asked in the mains exam. But what can we take for the prelims here? We can take, for example, schedule 6 can be asked in the prelims. So this is a nutshell about this article. In the next slide, we will solve a prelims based question from this article. Then the another topic, another article in the news is about the shifting stance with the respect to the global supply chain. So why it is in news? Because of the United States, they had brought out some legislative changes in which they are going to do what they are going to do, that global supply chains are at what they are saying, that they are at inflection point. And in this in these legislations, what they are going to do, that what there is in one important term, one important free paragraph, in which it is mentioned that any of the connected manufacturing system connected to Russia and China won't be allowed in USA. So they are going to be very they, USA is going to be very much precise with respect to the global supply chain. So with respect to the global supply chain, here we should know there are two basic principles in it. Earlier it was just in time. The principle which was followed was just in time. In it we used to import, for example, we used to import vehicles. All parts won't come from the same country, different parts would come from different countries, and these would be assembled somewhere else. So it was followed prior to COVID-19. This just in time was followed. But after that, when COVID-19 came in, it showed how it can impact the supply chain, how it has impacted the world. After that, the approach with respect to the supply chain changed, and it became just in case. In this principle, what you do, you are very much selective about the regions from where you are getting materials. Countries like USA, India, Japan has banned various Chinese companies with respect to the global supply chain. And why it is in news? Because first of all, what the US government has framed the legislations, and also with respect to, we had seen how the Israel has used global supply chain in favor of its war tactics against Iran and Lebanon. So it has given rise to various risks related to the global supply chain. So the countries are becoming more conscious with respect to it. And with respect to that, the USA has framed its new legislations. And with respect to that, what the important concepts which we need to know are just in time and just in case. So these are few terms which we should know about the global supply chain. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. After that, there is another article. It is about the celebration and vigil. It talks about the about the disease, about the elimination of diseases like Kala Azar and trachoma. We had already discussed in our previous class about the Kala Azar, which is also called a black fever. How India is very much near to eliminate it. As earlier we had seen, Bangladesh is the only country which has eliminated Kala Azar. Similarly, trachoma, it is also a neglected tropical disease. It is and with respect to the trachoma, how it can lead to the irreversible blindness. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. Then after that, there is another article. It is about the cyber frauds and its impact on economy. As per the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, which runs under the Union Home Ministry, it says that cyber frauds losses could amount to 0.7% of the GDP. So it has huge impact on the economy. So with respect to this, from this article, what we get, it is the I4C, which is the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. With respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. After that, there is another article. It is about India cannot risk another bout of inflation. Right now the RBI governor, there is pressure for on him, that why they are not reducing the interest rates. So in response to that, he mentioned that right now we are very much stable with respect to the other countries, and we cannot our country cannot risk another bout of inflation, and it would be very much difficult for us to cope with that. So taking into the consideration of all those matters, that is why we are not reducing the interest rates with respect to banking here, with respect to the market here. So that is the reason to not we are not risking it, we are not reducing it. So if we will reduce the interest rates, it may give rise to the risks of the inflation in the country, so which our country cannot afford. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. After that, there is another article in the news which is about India is close to finalize industry carbon target. So, what is it? Let's India is close. In it, the India is close to finalizing industry carbon target ahead of the COP29, which is going to be held in the Azerbaijan, Baku. So, with respect to this COP meeting of UNFCCC, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. So, this was in nutshell about the news today in the news articles in the newspapers. I hope you had got the basic idea about it, you had got the basic gist of it. Now, by taking this much knowledge into the consideration, by taking what was in the news today into the consideration, we are going to solve the prelims based questions from the next slide. So with this, let's move to the first question on the next slide and try to solve it. Here the question says, the sixth schedule of the Indian Constitution provides for the administration of tribal areas in certain northeastern states. 100% correct. Which of the following statements about the sixth schedule are correct? First statement, it establishes autonomous district councils in specified tribal areas, empowering them to legislate on matters related to land, social customs, and local governance. Correct, nothing wrong with this statement. Second statement, the provisions of the sixth schedule apply to states of Assam, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. 100% Assam, Meghalaya, and Mizoram, 100%. Let's have a look at the second statement here. Sorry, I got a little bug in during our recording. The question second statement says the provisions of the sixth schedule apply to the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. 100% correct. Nothing wrong with this statement. Third statement, the governor of the respective states has the authority to designate areas as tribal areas under the sixth schedule. 100% correct. Fourth statement, the councils formed under the sixth schedule have the power to levy taxes and manage resources within their jurisdiction. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, all the four statements are correct, and from the code given below, the correct option is option D. Now, you may ask me a question that, sir, why we are discussing this question? As we had seen, what are the issues going on in the Manipur, and we had seen in the introduction part how the constitution can come in and solve this issue, how the government can come in and use the constitution in solving the issue. And with respect to this, we saw that Manipur, it has not got the sixth schedule status, and it becomes important for us, the states which come under the sixth schedule, what does the sixth schedule provide to them. So that's why this question becomes important for us. So with this, I hope you had got the basic idea about it, and now let's go to the another slide and try to solve that. Here this question says, which of the following statements regarding global supply chain are correct? First statement, global supply chains refers to the network of production. 100% correct. Processing and distribution activities that span multiple countries, facilitating the flow of goods and services from raw materials to end consumers. 100% correct. This is the proper definition of the supply chain. Second, the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted vulnerabilities in global supply chains, leading many companies to consider reshoring or nearshoring their operations to reduce dependency on distant suppliers. 100% correct. That's why we have changed the principle from just in time to just in case, while we had we had been very much selective with respect to the countries. Third statement, the trade agreements, tariffs, and geopolitical tensions have no, this is a highlight here, have no significant impact on the functioning and the efficiency of global chain. Totally incorrect. These have definitely the impact on the these have definitely the significant impact on the functioning and efficiency of global chain. So statement 3 is incorrect. Coming to the statement 4, it says technological advancements such as blockchain and artificial intelligence are increasingly being utilized to enhance transparency and efficiency within global supply chain. Is 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2, and statement 4, and from the code given below, the correct code is option A. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about trachoma. As we discussed it, how India is celebrating its vigil with respect to almost elimination of Kala Azar and with respect to trachoma. So it becomes, as we had discussed Kala Azar in the previous class too. So today we will solve a question with respect to trachoma. Here the question says, first statement, trachoma is a contagious bacterial infection caused by Chlamydia trachomatis, 100% correct, primarily affecting the eyes and leading to blindness if untreated. Correct. Statement 2. The disease is primarily transmitted through direct contact with infected eye discharge and is more prevalent in areas with poor sanitation and hygiene practices. Correct. Statement 3. The World Health Organization has classified trachoma as a neglected tropical disease. 100% correct, and its elimination is a global health priority under this safe strategy. Correct. Statement 4. Trachoma is completely eradicated in all regions of India with no reported cases in the last decade. Totally incorrect, because we had not completely eradicated it yet. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1, 2 and 3 only, and from the code given below, the correct code is option A. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. Let's have a look at the question. What does the question say? The question says, which of the following statements about the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center are correct? First statement, the I4C was established to effectively tackle cybercrime in India by coordinating between various law enforcement agencies and providing technical support. Correct. Statement 2, it aims to enhance the capacity of law enforcement agencies to investigate and combat cyber crime through training, intelligence sharing, and the use of advanced technologies. Correct. Third statement, the I4C operates under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and focus solely on combating financial fraud and online scams. It is totally incorrect because it operates under the Union Home Ministry and it does not solely focus on financial frauds and online scams. It does focus on various different types of cyber frauds too. A fourth statement, one of the objectives of I4C is to create a source cyberspace for citizens by promoting awareness and education about cyber hygiene. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1, option 2 and option 4, and from the code given below, the correct code is option A. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve it. Here the question is about the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The question says which of the statements about UNCCC are correct. First statement, the UNCCC was adopted in 1992, 100% correct, at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro and entered into force in 1994, correct. Second statement, the primary objective of the UNCCC is to stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere to prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate system. 100% correct. The man-made interference, how it has impacted the global climate. Third statement, the UNFCCC includes legally binding targets for emissions reductions for all signatory countries. No, these are not legally binding. Fourth statement, the annual conference of the parties meetings serves as the decision-making body of the UNCCC, where parties assess progress and negotiate future commitments. 100% correct. So this, with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4, and from the code given below, the correct code is option A. So why we are discussing this? Because the conference of parties 29 is going to be held in next month in the Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan. So with this, let's by solving this question, we had completed the questions with respect to the current affairs. Now let's move to the another part of our discussion, which is solving the static topic question. Here, today's static topic question is with respect to Article 26 of the Indian Constitution. Let's see what the question says. The question says, which of the following statements regarding Article 26 of the Indian Constitution are correct? First statement, Article 26 guarantees the freedom to manage religious affairs and allows individuals to establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purpose. 100% correct. Statement 2, the article provides the right to propagate religion, but it does not include the right to convert individuals to another religion. Even though we can trace the right to propagate by managing our institutions, but it is not clearly mentioned in this article. In fact, it is mentioned in Article 25. So Article 25 deals with the right to propagate, not Article 26. So with respect to this question, the correct option 2 is incorrect statement. Coming to the third statement, Article 26 is subject to public order, morality and health, meaning that the right under the article can be restricted in the interest of society. 100% correct. Statement 4, Article 26 applies only to organized religions and does not cover individuals practicing their faith privately. No, it does apply to both organized religions as well as individuals practicing their faith privately. So this statement is also incorrect. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1 and option 3 only. And from the code given below, the correct code is option B. Yesterday we discussed one thing about Article 25, that is it restricted under the Constitution that we cannot that a person cannot convert somebody else. So with respect that, there are two statements given by two expert communities. Few say that even though it is not directly mentioned that we cannot convert, that conversion to converting anybody to your religion, it is not mentioned that it is illegal in our constitution. So it is very much discreet. It is something which the courts can answer to that. Forceful conversions are very much are not allowed. So with respect to this, we have the we have the Supreme Court judgment in Ravi Stanislaus versus the state of Madhya Pradesh case in 1977 ruled that Article 25(1) does not give the right to convert, but only the right to separate the tenets of one's own religion. So according to this judgment of 1977, this Article 25 does not give the right to convert. But few experts said that even though it is not directly mentioned that it is prohibited, so there are some gray areas in it. But by this judgment from the Supreme Court in 1977, it clearly said that Article 25 does not give this right to convert anybody. So with this, I hope you had understood it in a very proper way. Let's move to the last part of our discussion by solving the previous year questions. Here the first question is about here. Let's solve the first question. It says, during the freedom struggle, Aruna Asif Ali, she was a lady, was a major woman organizer of underground activity. She was involved in was she involved in civil disobedience movement? No. Non-corporation movement? No. Swadeshi movement? No. She was definitely involved in Quit India movement. Whenever you see this word, this major woman organizer of underground activity, whenever you see this underground activity, organizer of underground activity, you would definitely get one thing in your mind, that it is related to post 1940. It is definitely related to the Quit India movement. So this is one thing you should remember, which you should keep in the mind. Now moving to the another question here. The question says, who of the following prime ministers sent Cripps mission to India? Was he James Ramsay MacDonald? No. Was he Stanley Baldwin? No. Was he Neville Chamberlain? No. Was he Winston Churchill? 100% correct. So with respect to this question, who sent the Cripps mission to India? It was Winston Churchill. So with this, we complete today's discussion. I hope you would like the video. I hope you would share it with your friends, and I definitely hope you would subscribe the channel. And please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you, and write in the comments, criticize us if we are not coming to the expectations of yours. We will try our best to correct what are we lacking in. So by this, thank you very much. Thank you for staying with me, and have a nice day.